ชมพูทวีป
Recording in progress.
ไปครึ่งชั่วโมงแล้วครับอาจารย์ so has three things สวัสดีครับ the people like us in Champutuvi has three very extinct characteristic the first one is Surabhawa. Sura means brave. We have bravery in commit all kind of akusala. Okay. Surabhawa. We have bravery in commit all kinds of akusala. The second thing that we have is sati manta. We can become a monk. We can start doing the jhana. We can doing the vipassana. And the good thing is, once we put our mindfulness in our action, we can achieve holy person that we call sati manta. And the last thing that we are special from human being from other continents is Brahmacharya, carry out our innate idea as Brahma. So Brahma, they try to abide from committing a lot of bad things. So those are three things that we can carry out our life, especially daily life action, the speech and thought through the context of life in Champu Tawib, in Champu continent that we are here. So now we're talking about the sati. As I said, once we came to our world, the first thing that we did is akusala, because we cry out. The crying out from two bases. One basis is dosa, because you are fear of the light. Dosa, you are fear of unprotective manners, because you came out from the tummy of your mom and you see the light the first time. You are not sure what kind of light. Would it be dangerous to your being from now on? So the first thing that you carry out from your thought is akusala. You cannot apply state into the crying because that crying is rooted from dosa. And once you get out, once you are in the tummy of your mom, you constantly be feeded inside. So once you get out, you're not feeded anymore. So you crave for the food. Craving for the food is loba. So you commit all the bad things, you commit all the akusala things. So you require somebody to know that nurturing is eating. So come back to our eating. So you have to be moderate in your eating. But once you are the baby, you never knew. So sati came in ready up enough in order to understand when you can apply state, mindfulness in our daily life. The person like Buddha himself, he has sati since he was 7. When he was 7, he has sati. He can did all the psychic power already. Okay, those are in Suttantika. So I will not go into that area because our area is sati, only state is itself. So now we are going to talk about the action plan in order to cut our way, cut our time, cut our path from the transmigration. We want to be able to reborn again, but we have to be able to reborn into a good condition. We don't want to go deep into bad condition. Area of bad condition after we reborn again, we call apaya. Apaya. Have you heard of apaya before? Have you been before? Yes, everybody was there. Me, I was there before. Apaya broken down into two etymologic words. The first one, apaya, means nothing. No. No. Aya means kusala. Aya means kusala. So kusala in this way is kusala in living. Kusala in living very peacefully in life. The second one is the state of being. Angel. State of being, we are lack of state of being angel because angel do not really have body. We cannot see angel because angel is something that we cannot see. The something that we cannot see in Buddhism is Atisa Mana Kaya. Atisa means invisible. Mana means by heart. Kaya means body. So Atisa Mana Kaya, something that we cannot see through our eyes, but we can only feel him. We can feel her. So once we are into the apaya, in the state of unfavorable living livelihood, we cannot be something that people cannot see us. People always see us. Apaya sometimes came into the form of animals. Animals. We call animal as the ratana. The ratana. The riya means something go sideways. The ratana, something goes sideways. So once we notice a dog, the dog is the ratana. So his backbone goes sideways. So the ratana means something goes sideways. Or sometimes when we see the fish, the fish backbone also go sideways. So something goes sideways, we call the ratana. Sideways has the hidden meaning too. Once we go sideways, it will block because people walk like this. Our backbone goes straight up from the ground. That's we call human being. So once we have something go sideways, mean it's blockage. It's a blockage. And the blockage, not only the proper action. So most of the Tirashana always has pain in their body because the weight will go right in the middle of their body. So they have the pain all the time. So when they want to get rid of the pain, they have to get their anger out to somebody. So they bite, so they bark, the chalk, get ache all the time. So every time they see people, they get attacked already because they have to get their anger out to release their agony to some people who they do not really know. So apaya or tiratan or those kind of living, the being substance like that always commit all the bad thing, which are the akusala. That's why we call those people who get into that kind of situation, we become apaya. So apaya means there are lack of akusala. The last meaning of apaya, apart from, I cannot see mine. Where's this? Apaya. Okay. State of being angel. The last one is lack of nibbana. So once we get into abaya bhumi, we cannot really attain nibbana at all. So sometimes they talk about vinipatika asura, vinipatika asura. Those, the assassin in the hell. Sometimes once we fell down into abaya bhumi, we have to really pay. Anything we commit in the past, we have to get repaid from somebody else. And somebody who kill us, somebody who cut our throat, cut our head out in the hell, all those are vinipatika asura. With one kind of peta, one kind of the person who are craving for the help of people. So those people are very angry because the body of those apaya satta, the apaya living, not in the human-like form. Sometimes they are very ugly. Sometimes they are very big. There's one kind of apaya living we call kumpanda. Kumpanda. Kumpan means a big pot. So kumpanda, they have the manhood organ bigger than the baking pot. So that part of the body always touched to the ground. So every time they move themselves, the agony, the pain came in. So those kind of apaya living, very, very fierce. They did all the things to kill people. Once we put ourselves into the hell, people kill us, sanjiva, become alive again. And they kill us again, sanjiva. Sanjiva means live again. So once we are cut down until we become pieces, like kala sutta. Kala means black, sutta means thread. They will use iron thread, which is black colors, and saw ourselves from the arm first, from the head, the other arm, and the body. Once we completely die again, we sanjiva, we live again. So everything will cooperate into one person again. And they did something like that again, cut ourselves into parts. So abaya, we cannot really recollect. We cannot really recollect all the good things in life. So there is no way sati will become mainstream in our action. We will not be able to become the mainstream in our speech. We will never become a mainstream in our thought. So now we are lucky already. Like I mentioned before, everybody are lucky because we start our path already. We set ourselves off into the path of Ariya. Don't know when. Maybe tomorrow, maybe 7 days, maybe 7 years. But we are hopeful. We have hope already because we carry on. We carry on with the sati or mindful path of living. So we have to do the action plan. Our action plan in meditation, we call it meditation framework. Like this framework was presented to the PhD students in Puttakosa in Bali, Siksa Puttakosa 3 years ago. That's program that I taught is one program in Vipassana Kammatthana in English. So I present this framework to the classes. They graduated already, okay? So we have to get ourselves into the framework of mind, combined by 3 major things. The first thing is our action plan. Our action plan is our approaches. There are 4 approaches in the meditation. In the meditation, one approach, we knew it from Vajrayan. Vajrayan in Tibet or Vajrayan in a lot of places, they use a sound. They use a sound to parikama, to prompt themselves into the calmness. Parikama, to prompt themselves into the calmness. In order to build up the foundation for the solid sati, solid mindfulness, they will use the sound Om, Om, Om. Or sometimes they use wood, do, wood, do. Sometimes they use pa, da, pa, da. Sometimes they use the bell. That we call focus mantra, focus mantra. Or sometimes they worship something that they will not know, spiritual. Spiritual, something that they don't know. For instance, the goodness. They worship the goodness. So they think about the goodness, the kind thing, the kindness. Sometimes they think about the appreciation. So all those are the kind of action plan they start with. So become the spiritual approaches. And the third thing is moving. Once we walk in meditation, when we walk in meditation, once we walk in meditation, the first thing start in our mind is akusala, because we want to walk. That's akusala, purely akusala. That's purely lobha, because we want to walk. Once we're walking, we want our pace to be in still and calmness. So once we walk and we urging for the calmness or stillness, that's bhava tanha. Bhava tanha. We want to be in the stage of being calm, or we want to be a stage of being still. Never happened to our life. Never happened to our Tipitaka. Never happened to our vipassana. Because vipassana is about moving, all kind of moving in thought, moving in action, moving in thought, moving in action, sometimes moving in thought in a series of action, sometimes moving in our bodily movement in a series of action, sometimes it's switching from our mind base to our action base. Sometimes it starts from action base and moving into our thought base. So there's always moving thing. So every time we have to realize, every time we start doing up ourselves straight up, that's we want to. That's we want to. We call chanta racha, chanta racha. Because we feel it's a good way in order to spend our 1 hours to be together with the stillness. We know it's right. We know it's always good. It's always calm ourselves. So once we start getting ourselves up, our back straight up, that we call bhava racha, because we come in together with chanta racha. Why we have chanta racha? Because we have enjoyment in stillness from meditation. We call it Dhamma Nandi. Dhamma Nandi. We enjoy in the action that we do. So we start with Chanta Racha because we want to take our action. We want to take our mind to action, Chanta Racha. Once we get into the action, we have Dhamma Nandi. We start walking. Start from the sitting down, straight up. We want to stand up. Once we want to stand up is bhava racha. Because we know after bhava racha, we start to walk. Once we're walking, we can contemplate in our step. Once we're walking, we can contemplate in our step. We walk again, we can contemplate our step. That dhamma nanti. We enjoy it. Somebody who are not Buddhism or somebody who never practice will not have these two things. But these are the positive lobha. So lopa is a bad thing, but we can have a very negative lopa and we have positive lopa, because this lopa will lead us into the holy path of life. So once we have the pavaraka, until we get ache in our back and we want to sit down, we start cropping up with pavaraka again. So once we decided that we are going to sit down, from stand up to sit down, we call vipava tanha. We don't want to be in the state of what we have before. We want to change it. We change why? Because we have chanta raka. Once we sit down, we knew it already. We prompt ourselves in order to close our mind. Once we close our mind, we know already we can contemplate something in the stillness. Once we close our eyes, that's chanta raka. Chanta raka. Once we start contemplate, once we start to perceiving things, once we start to cognize the emotional objects, like we heard the sound, we have the dhamma nanti. We enjoy doing it. Once we thought about something crop up in our mind, we have dhamma nanti. So in our actions, start from the akusala all the way down. So anything that we put into the action in our life always start from akusala. Like when we born, when we first born, we start our path from loba, from dosa, from moha. Once we grow up, our action was driven by loba, dosa, and moha. So one thing that we have to do is try to incorporate sati in our mind. Okay. For instance, can everybody raise your right hand? Raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. And use your right hand to touch your chin. Okay? Raise your right hand and use your right hand to touch your chin. I said what? Use your right hand to touch your chin. So once we listen, there is no sati. There is no listen. Once you listen to something, there is no sati. There is no mindfulness. Once you look, there is no mindfulness. So mindfulness will not happen to your vision. Mindfulness will not happen to your sound. Not once you perceive smell, not once you perceive the taste, or when you're moving, sati will not come in. Sati will not come in, will come in only one stage or one platform, is your mind. So sati happen to your mind only. So once you walk, it's two stage of contact. Your body, everybody, I'm tall, I'm getting skinner, I'm getting skinner, but in a bad way, okay? I was seriously sick. So this body, what we did in the past, after we did and we did we die last life, and we reborn again. Once we reborn, ourself, our body is the fruit, is the outcome of what we did in the past. So we call it by kamma. By kamma is kamma charupa. Kamma charupa. So one state or one station that we start our meditation, our kamma charupa is our body originated by kamma, and anything around us we call it uttucha. Anything without any not a living substance we call uttu. So there are two substances contact to each other. Our kamata, once we lift our leg will be incorporated with four elements: the earth elements, the water elements, the wind element, and the fire element. Once we get our legs stretched, it's the earth elements. The earth element is a majority of action. So once we lift our legs, earth element will become less and the wind element will become more. So once we balance our earth element and wind and the wind element, we can move. So if we have earth element, like a majority of earth element, we have to stand up. Or if we have a lot of wind element, we have to lie down because we cannot go straight up. But if you want to move, you have to get our element into balance. Like the earth element and the wind element, we have to be in equal portion. So we can walk and we can walk and we can walk. Once we walk, we get numb. We get very ache. The aching is from fire elements. So once fire element is a majority of the matter of the organs, we have to get out of the pain by using the water element. So water is moving the fire element out. So there is no living thing in ourselves. No us, only the elements. So once we get ourselves into the meditation, we're talking about Patu. Ourselves is Patu. Parentiti. Patu. Anything incorporate with Sapawa, not ourselves. So if we can make a decision from today that we are going to perform our meditation or vipassana upon the whatever we have as Sapawa, we can progress well. But if we thought about Pracha, we become Ariya one day, there is no Pracha. Here are the elements, all right? Here are all the elements. They have the life by themselves, not my life, okay? Not me. So once we move, what is moving is not me moving. It is the combination of elements moving. So if you understand that, we have the earth elements now, and then once we lift ourselves up, the wind elements will become into the balance of the proportionate balance of wind element and fire element. So what happened to the other five elements? It's gone, right? Gone where? Nobody knows. It's just gone. So can we lift up the leg like that for half an hour? Can we do that? Can we do that now? No way. No way, right? We cannot put anything into a stable state of our minds. So we have to move along. So once we move along, now what will be the earth element becomes fully working. So where is from? Where the earth element from? We don't know. It's uncontrollable. It's uncontrollable. It's anatta. It's anatta. We want to stand along for 3 days. Can we do that? No, because we cannot bear it. Once we cannot bear it, we call tukka. Because we can't bear it. Because tukka means cannot stay for a long time. They have to perish. They will have to go away. And we cannot control it, right? Sometimes we want to stand, sometimes we want to sit, sometimes we want to move on because anicca. So we have the triple characteristic. In our meditation all the time, no matter what is the samatha or vipassana, we have to carry on our meditation through triple characteristic, anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So 3 things that we have to do. So once you do the anicca, dukkha, anatta, the key factors that we can understand all those 3 things come through by sati, mindfulness. Okay. Even we do the samatha meditation, psychic meditation as apinya, we always audio is not so clear. How can we move that along? Audio is not so clear. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how is the sound systems go along, but in here we enjoy a lot. I'm sorry. Come to the school if you can come. anybody is in Thailand and you are still in the program, I recommend, I encourage everybody come to the class, all right? Because it's very useful to be able to sit in the class and enjoy the moment. Because not only me, a lot of people who are the lecturer here try to give you a lot, try to give you the fullest, all right? Now we come back. I'm sorry, the sound system. I think the technician here will do something about it, all right? On the last thing, which are the top-notch culmination of the meditation, we call it mindfulness. Which is our supreme major topic that we are going to cover today. So once we have the action plan as mindfulness, every time when you move in, every time you still, every time you think, every time you speak, every time you do any action or anything in your life, you will carry out everything in your life through sati, through the mindful. So once you have the action plan that you are going to do, and we can break it down into 4 groups. Now, once you have the action plan, you have to get your action plan into the actual doing. Your actual doing is contemplation, how you try to do it. If you have the focus mantra, what you have to do is you have to concentrate a lot. So your meditation will be concentrative, the contemplation. And if you have the spiritual, you have to generate your thought into whatever you think, the kindness, the loving kindness, apamanya, the mudita. You have to generate your mind into it. And sometimes you have the moving exercise, or you have the moving like Tai Chi, like yoga. You have to be attentive to your movements. Those are the contemplation of contemplative action that you will have. And the mindfulness, what you have to do is to reflect anything that you have in mind, you have in your speech, and have into your action. Those are the action, the actual movement, the actual process that you have to do in order to serve your action plan. And once you have the action plan ready, you have to go into your objective, the ideology of what you want to achieve. So if you have the mantra, the first thing that you get from the mantra of focus meditation is relax. Your body will be very relaxed. Your mind will be relaxed in calmness. Or if you want to have the spiritual, because spiritual like karuna, mudita, upekha, you can go into the jhana. Once you achieve all kind of meditation upon the spiritual thing, after the birth, after you deceased from this life, you will be born again in those area, in the sphere that is not kama vajara, not manusa anymore. You will be in the rupa brahma, arupa brahma. Okay, and if you have moving meditation like yoga, like tai chi, you have the reception because you are very sensitive to the movement, because you train with the movement. You very acute. You can get it. You can perceive your emotional object very easily and promptly because you are trained with the moving thing. People came into your right hand side, you knew it because you trained from the moving substances. People is in your behind, the person are in you behind, you understand already because you train from the moving. So you have a very good receptive awareness, or you have a very good reception. And lastly, if your action plan is to go by mindfulness and you approach or you contemplate it by reflective, you reflect everything into your mind, the end of the tunnel will be enlightenment. So we can choose. We have a long time in this transmigration. So what you have to do is you have to choose. You have to think about what you want to do in life. And whatever you want to do in life, upon your action plan, the actual procedure that you have to carry or you serve your action plan and your ideality or your objective, all right? This model you can copy, all right? Because it's from Satipatthana Sutta. It's from Satipatthana Sutta, okay? Moving on, once you are in Buddhism world, we're talking about the contribution of Buddhism. There are two levels. One level is mundane. Mundane is logiya. You associated with worldly. So it's worldly benefits. Worldly benefits. So mundane is worldly benefits. You have to born again. You have to be born again into this life, into next life. You have to be born again. It's mundane. So we have the mundane in wholesomeness. So we have mundane wholesomeness. Mundane wholesomeness breaking down into three levels. The first level is, of course, once you don't have the lobha, once you don't have the dosa, once you don't have the moha, the first thing came to in your mind is you have the stillness, you have the calmness, you are free from all kinds of troublesome. So the first contribution of Buddhism is calmness. So if you have the mundane contribution of wholesomeness in your mind, the first thing that you have the wholesomeness in your mind, you have to carry out with sati. So you have sati or mindfulness in association with your mind become calm already. So once action plan is done, you carry out your procedures. The action plan, you have to note it, like your action plan will have to come together with mindfulness. Once you get into the action, which is the actual procedures, you have to do is you have to do anything based on your mindfulness. So you have to do the mindful. You have to be very mindful in action, mindful in speech, mindful in thoughts, all right? And ideology or your ideality will achieve based on your wishes or based on your action plan. So the first thing that which is a contribution to from the Buddhism is a calmness. The second thing, so once you train yourself into a deep calmness, we have emotional objects, 26 items, which I will not be able to cover today or the next time, because it will need like 2 weeks to talk about the kammatthana, panyati kammatthana, aramana, or the emotional objects to observe when you want to do the jhana, okay? It will be the other session. So if you want to progress yourself, stay out of the calmness, you can use the calmness to bring yourself out from this world to the Rupa Brahma, to Arupa Brahma. Once you can train your heart, train your mind, train your notion, and adjust your action plan in order to perceive, in order to cognize all those kind of panyati kammatthana, emotional objects. Like you want to focus on colors. You want to focus on colors. For instance, yellow color. If you focus on yellow color, you have to get yourself prepared with the equipment. You have to use the yellow colors, and you have to get the parameter of 14 diameters of the yellow colors. This yellow will have to be yellow according to the yellowness, yellow colors once the Buddha was born. Any kind of color, yellow color that he recommend, use only that kind of yellow. You cannot buy the yellow chart from Wat Yanawa temple and start to do your yellow focus. So if you want to do yellow focus, you have to use the yellowness from the earth of Neranjara River at 6 o'clock. That's the colors of Pitakasinam. So once you get yourself with all the kind of equipment ready, you have to stand according to your eyesight. If you are in normal eyesight, you have to cut or you have to prepare the colors with the diameter 14 inches and you step away for 6 meters if your eyesight is okay. So from 6 meters, you just focus on the colors. But if you are long eyesight, you have to step further. If you're shortened eyesight, you have to come closer. Cannot use glasses. Cannot use glasses because once you use glasses, there are light reflective to your eye and the color will be distorted. So you have to use your bare eye to start with a focus on yellow focus. And you have to look at it, look at it, and say out loud to prompt your heart. Pita Kasinam. Pita Kasinam. Pita means yellow. Kasina means the whole yellow. Yellow in the whole world. Pita Kasinam. Pita Kasinam. Or if you want to do the white colors, you can also use the white color too. You have to use the white color from the earth of Nirantara. Able to use. You have to use that one. And you have to prompt yourself, prepare yourself with the material. Cut the board in a circle with a diameter 14 inches, which is one arm plus 3 inches, one arm. But people in the ancient time is longer than this, with 3 inches. These inches of the ancient people, we become like this. One finger is like that. So it's very long, okay? Once you get your material ready, the same here, is go by your eyesight. If you are in parameter that you can focus on the colors easily. Easily means you don't have to force your eyes in order to look at it. And if you want to look at the colors white, o tha tang kasinam, o tha tang kasinam. Or if you want to use the color green, prepare the color green, 14 inches, and step away. The perimeter is based on your eyesight, and you look at it, nilang kasinam, nilang kasinam. Or if you want to do the red color too, supposed to be the red color of the, I don't know what this called, of the chicken. The red color of the top part, I don't know what's it called. Okay, you have to use that color, and supposed to be color of the chicken in India too, not the chicken here. The red color of the chicken, okay, and then prepare the material. Once you get the material prepared, look at it by the perimeter with your eyesight allowed, and prompt yourself with the word lo hitang kasinam, lo hitang kasinam. That's parikamma. So we say it out. So when we say it out already, that's tanha already, okay, bhava tanha. So we want to do it. And then we close our eye. So when we close our eye, we try to compare whatever we see from the bare eye and whatever we see once we contemplate from the heart. Open your eye again, look at it, and say again, nilang kasinang, nilang kasinang, nilang kasinang, until you are ready, your eye become ready to focus on the colors. You have the clear colors already. Close your eye. So when you close your eye, compare the sight that you see and the mind that you perceive. If the same colors, in the same clarity, in the same sight, that's when you move to ukkaha nimittang. So you carry out anything outside into your mind. That sati works already. Sati start to work in ukkaha nimittang. Sati work from here. From here, if your mind get deep into the calmness through sati, not anything at all, through sati only, you can switch it, you can enlarge it, you can hide it, and you can flip it. So you can enlarge, you can make it small or hide it, You can flip it and you can enlarge it. You can enlarge even the color cover to the whole word. That's when you want to do the focus meditation. So if you want to get out from that one, once you get ready, those are the material or matter meditation. Once we get our matter meditation, we call it in Buddhism as rupa jhana. Rupa jhana. Jhana means focus. Jhana, focus. Not mean we focus. Jhana on rupa. Rupa means decay. Rupa means decay. It's perish. It's go away. Rupa never stay with us. We think the table stay with us, but table never stay with us. Today and next year, the color will fade out. Rusted will smother all the legs, all the metal legs. Sometimes it's broken. So rupa means decay. Because the characteristic of rupa is rupana lakanang. Rupana means decay by self. So Buddha said rupa is decay. It's always decay. It's always perish. It will always go away. Mind though also go away, but not go away like rupa. Rupa has elongate ages. The span of life of rupa is longer than human being. Sometimes the temple 1,000 years, but people will not stay 1,000 years. That's why the span of life of rupa is longer, but is decay. It will not stay the same to the test of the time. But our mind, once it's happened, rising, is always ceasing. Once it go up, always go down. Once it go down, it's always go up and go down. This kind of action we call citta niyama. Citta niyama. It's a regulation of happening of abstract. Anything is up, it will go down. Anything perish, it will go up again. Those are the citta niyama of abstract. Okay, so rupa will decay. So every time when we do rupa jhana. Those jhana means focus. So we focus on something decay. Like the colors, nila, we focus on the green color. We have to make believe that decay out from our side and it moves from decay. The perishment of the colors green, red, yellow, and white decay from the side, decay from the outside, but it stay in our mind. Once it stay in our mind, stay for 3 days, stay for 2 hours, because we focus on here, not focus there. So the jhana happen here, not happen there. Like I said before, once I said, lift your arm up and touch your shin. No stick, right? No mindfulness. But once you see the color, also no mindfulness. Only the focus until you can compare the colors, parameter, the clarity of the outside colors that you see and move it inside, decay from outside and move inside your heart, and sati will stay here. So once sati will stay here, stay for hours, stay for days. Depend on the vitality of your body. Depend on how much you can hold it in your mind. So every time, once you progress into the jhana, you focus on something until your breathing is gone. Once you get it into the rupa jhana, the last one, chatuta jhana, you focus until your breathing is gone. So most of the people who perform jhana, no breathing anymore, because it's gone by jhana in rupa jhana. So once you get our focus, your state will stay here. Once the state stay here, we call vihara dhamma. Viharatam means stay, sati, stay here. So sati, stay here as a master of the house. So stay here in your heart as a master of the house. So mindfulness become the master of your meditation now. So no matter what kind of action plan you have, no matter approach or you put into the actual actions or your ideality or objective you have, your vihara dhamma or the master of the house will have to be mindfulness only. So once you have the mindfulness here, you can achieve jhana as the basic. Okay, so those are the contribution of the Buddhism in the second categories. The last category is the psychic power abhinya. So you can fly, you can disappear, you can read the mind, you can them. Psychic power of abhinya. The first one is the special sight Tipitaka. The eyesight, special eyesight, the special psychic power through the eyes, Tipitaka. Once you see the Tipitaka, like outside, you want to see something, you just close your eye and you can see it, Tipitaka. Or anything, President Trump want to raise the import tax, the reciprocal tax or not, you know it. Once you have the Tipitaka and you try to look at his paper in America, so it's far away, you can also do it. Not only in our worldly living, you can have the psychic power. Could you please turn up your mic?
What are you reading?
Hante, could you close your mic? Could you turn off your mic?
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't sound. The speaker is
It's come back now.เปิดได้ไหมครับ Would it be okay now แล้วอันนี้ผมทำยังไงครับ
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
What?
yes,
yes,
okay.
now okay.
กลับไปหน้าเดิมนะโอเค
โอเคครับผม I'm sorry I'm so poor in technique in technology I'm getting old okay I'm turned 60 today so the second psychic power is Tipasota and if you want to move yourself from this place to other place by flying or disappearing or if you want to get into the teleport like if you want to walk through the wall you can use this apinya itivita apinya use your heart and your jhana to be the base of this psychic power and if you want to read people's mind Jeto Pariya, you can read people's minds. Jeto means citta, the consciousness, your mind. You can read people's mind through Jeto Pariya. And if you want to understand why these people are very beautiful, why these people is very handsome, why these people are very bad, why these people is very kind-hearted, you can know by Yatha And then once Lord Buddha attained his Arahata Makha, become Buddha today, the first jhana that he has is Bupphe Nivasa. Bupphe Nivasa. He can travel to the time once he was first born, once he was proclaimed to be the Buddha in four Asankaya and another plus 100,000 kappa. So in travel back to the time, that's why he said, Aneka chati sangsarang santha pisang anipisang kaha karang kavesanto tukha chati punapunam. I don't have to born anyway, and I don't have to born any. I have to be born anymore because I was born so many years, so many life already, and every time I born to the world, those are the suffering. I can end it now. He made the analogy of the life in the transmigration as a house, and he said he can get rid of one major thing is loba. He can get loba out. Kama tanha, rupa tanha, arupa tanha. Power of craving not happen into his born so many times, died so many times. Every time he was born, every time he died, always run into the suffering. So he ends suffering now. Okay. Aneka sati sangsarang. The transmigration in many form of life ended at this point of mind, carried by mindfulness. All right. So once he had that one, he has Pupeni Vasanusati, he said this out already. He said he was born for too many life already. And every time he was born, all the suffering crop up in his mind. So his transmigration, he carry out all the suffering. But if he did not carry out the reincarnation into transmigration, he would not understand what kind of suffering he was facing for the whole life he has. So he learned the suffering through the Puppe Nivasa Nusati. And then the last one is once we want to travel to the future, we call it Anakhatangsa. Anakhatangsa. For those are 7 psychic powers, which are the major contribution to the world by Buddhism. Once we have those 3 things, calmness, we have the tranquility from the jhana, and we can achieve all the special psychic power. We have to be born again into another life, another form. No matter what it is, we don't know. So the future is unpredictable. So anybody can say future is predictable is wrong. Even Lord Buddha, he also say the future is unpredictable. No matter how good you are, you cannot guarantee that you will be born in a good form. Okay, we never know what happened because we born too many times, and we never know what kind of deed in the past that we did will make the result into our birth again next life. So we cannot guarantee anything, but he can guarantee one thing: there's somebody without any future. He can say from here, Aneka chati sangsarang, santapisang adipisang, kahakarang kawe santo, tukha chati munapanang. So he said out that he in his future already. So he said, there are people who can guarantee say no future, but there are no people can guarantee that the future will be good or not. So he tell people that only condition that Buddhism can tell is Buddhism can tell somebody who has no future, and everybody of us will have no future too. Because now we travel through the time, and the world will be destroyed by 3 stances. The first one will be flooded. Our world will be flooded, and our world will be flooded 54 times. Out of 54 times, we take away 8 times out. We flooded the time that we take away 48 times. And then in the other 8 times, our world will be destroyed by fire 7 times. And the last time, once we get together into our next Samma Sambuddha, Si Ariya Metaya, the world will be destroyed by the wind. Once the world is destroyed, we don't know when. But if we are in the Apaya Poom, Niraya or Naraka, Niraya Poom, we serve our bad deeds that we was in the part. Once the water is flooded, we were gone from those parts, and we become the angels one time, and then we born again into the human world. So every time when the world is destroyed, people will get away. Only 3 types of people will not get away from the destruction of the earth. The first one is somebody has the Miccha Titi. Like we know what we know. It's Miccha Titi. We don't know what we know because we have moha. We never know. I don't know what I'm teaching is right or wrong. I only knew it's right because I say it out from Tipitaka. I don't know it's right or wrong if I just say it. So I said it based on my evidence from Buddha. So I know it's right. But I don't know. I never invent of this kind of matters. So I copy everything from Buddha and try to communicate it out to somebody who wants to say it. So once I said I'm right, I'm wrong already because I never know I'm right. So these are the Miccha Titi. There are three Michatiti. The first one is Natika. You don't believe in whatever you did. You don't believe in your outcome. It's Natika Titi. And you don't believe in the past life, Ahetuka. You don't believe everything you are in today because you are in today. You don't believe in the old time. Because the Buddha said he traveled through the time for a long time. So if he said, no, everything I did today, I did, therefore I am, it's wrong already because I never do anything, therefore I am today. I do everything today, therefore I was born again. I was born before. Those are the right things that we have to think about it. And the last one is Akiriya. Everything we do today will not result into the next life. So somebody said, oh, I'm Arya already. I attained Arahanta. You never know. That's why Lord Buddha said, you cannot say your state of mind. You cannot disclose. If you are Arya, you cannot disclose ourselves. You cannot identify yourself to people. Especially for lay people who teach Vipassana or meditation, always claim themselves, always title themselves. I achieve Sotapanna. I achieve Sakapakami. I achieve Anakami. I become Arahanta already. These kind of people, even the world was destroyed by wind, by fire, by water. If this area was destroyed, you'll be changed into the prison or nirya in the other world. Because in other world, there are like 100,000 lokatatu. There are 100,000 premises. So if you have something like that, niyata michaditi, three kind of thing like this, you will be moved from this place and go into the jail, into the next place again, until whatever you did deserved, whatever you face after life already. So you become angel again. And the second one, the second group of people, the people who did the Panjanantariyakam, you kill your mom, you kill your dad, you kill Arahanta, you injure Samma Sambuddha, and you say, you do, you plan anything to make Sangha, to make the monk side, to stir the monk society. I cannot do that because I'm lay people. If you're a novice, you cannot do that. So the last one, people will stir up the chaos in the Sangha community and would serve this kind of result only the monk. Okay, only the monk who stir up the problem and make the monkhood become broken into two areas, broken into two nikaya. So anybody who broke or break, in the past we have a lot of people, Sakatwati, Parawati. I say something like that, I say something like this. Have you heard of, I think Thai people understand, Sakateva, Indawatingsa. Have you heard? Sakateva, Indra. Have you heard of Indra, the Teva in Tawatingsa? Do you know Guan Yin? You know Guan Yin? Yeah, Guan Yin, you know Guan Yin? Those are the same people. All kind of name, but one people only. So you say like this, and somebody say Tawatingsa, which Guan Yin is the head of the in this sphere. You said he is the Arahanta already. Actually, he is a he, but in the form of a lady. Sometimes we call him Sakka Deva. Sometimes we call him Indriya. So there are a lot of names. So if you said, my Supreme Lord is Guan Yin, what about Lord Buddha? Where is Lord Buddha? Because Supreme Lord is supposed to be Buddha himself. So anybody will be disciples, his students only. So somebody like that who create a lot of thought, a lot of Nigaya, make the problem with Sangha broken. They broken down the Sangha society. they will serve into this kind of situation. Once they get into niraya, abhaya, once the world is destroyed, he'll be moved from this place to that place, to that place, to that place. So the second one. And the last one, who did a lot of lopa, tosa, moha. Once we did it, there's a path lead to the outcome we call akusala kamma patha. Akusala kamma patha. If he did something very strong, very bad, very vicious to people to bear it, they will reserve the punishment for a long time. But sometimes they did a lot. They did a lot of bad things, but they also did a lot of good things in their life. Like people always change, people always donate. But he still, so he did all the good thing and the bad thing. So you have to balance. Everything you did in the past in a bad way, you have to serve it in a bad way first. Until the punishment is gone, then you are able to serve for the good things later. So anything you do, you have to serve it. So now, the mundane wholesomeness. Oh, sorry, time is okay. The mundane. So we'll stop at the mundane because the time is gone. You have to eat. All right. So the mundane wholesomeness. Those are the contribution in the logiya way. Three things: the calmness, the tranquility, and psychic power. Okay. 10:45. So may I ask the Pante to have lunch? All right. So see you again 1 o'clock. All right. Thank you so much. See you in the afternoon.
Thank you, Ajahn, for your teaching.
See everybody in the afternoon 1 o'clock. Will be okay?
That's okay.
Okay. When I teach, I teach PhD students.
ก็เป็นในเช้าเลยใช่ไหมคะ
จ้ะ
ค่ะแล้วก็มีตอนบ่ายประมาณ
บ่ายโมง
บ่ายโมงเลยค่ะอาจารย์
ได้ครับ
เดี๋ยว
โอเคไหมฮะ
โอ้ยลึกเลยค่ะอาจารย์ แต่ว่าต้องดูว่านิสิตท่านจะมีแต่ละท่านน่ะถ้าเป็นเมียนมาเนี่ยจะมีพื้นฐานที่ทำเยอะจะเข้าใจท่านอาจารย์แต่ว่าถ้าเป็น
คนใหม่
เนี่ยถ้าเป็นแบบสายมหายานเขาจะ
ๆนิดหนึ่งพยายามยืดไป
อ๋อค่ะใช่
พยายามยืดไป
แล้วเดี๋ยวตอนบ่ายจะเชิญนิสิตพอเอก
อุ๊ยได้เลยครับ
เขาจะได้ความรู้เยอะเลยค่ะอาจารย์ค่ะ
ก็ตอนแรกก็กลัวจริงๆไม่อยากแค่แตะก่อนกลัวเดี๋ยวเขาแบบตายก่อนอ่ะเพราะเนาะเพราะว่าสอนอภิธรรมลงไม่ได้ ลงอภิธรรมไม่ได้ แต่เดี๋ยวเนี้ยอภิธรรมล้วนๆเลยอะ
ตอนช่วงบ่ายเนี่ยอย่างนี้สิ
ฉันจะหมดแล้ว
ตอนโทร
ครับ
แล้วก็อันนี้บันทึกไว้ด้วยเนาะบันทึกท่านค่ะ
อาจารย์ขอบคุณนะ
ขอบ
สนุ
คุ
ก
ณถ้าคือต้องเป็นอาจารย์นี่แหละที่จะสอน